Hi, I'm Cassie, and my specialty is health insurance. So I'm your go-to with my business coverage by Cassie. And in this video series, I'm going to be covering the 10 things that you should have asked when finding your health plan. If you didn't, it might be time to reevaluate. I'm licensed in over 15 states right now, so chances are I can help. When it comes to the 10 questions, I'm going to cover the first 5 in a part 1 and the second 5 in a part 2, really diving in, and then I'm going to individualize and get really specific on numbers 1 through 10 by doing a video on each individual number. So here's the lineup. Number 1, what type of plan did you even get? Was it a nationwide PPO network? Was it an HMO? Do you even know? I was like, that's one question that's very crucial to what you're signing up for. There are limited things that have to do with your health and qualifying. And then there are the government situations where it's based on your income and household size, and health has nothing to do with it. So there's a lot going on that maybe you're just not aware of and didn't ask that question, so you weren't told about it. Number 2, how much will you have to pay for medical care? If you are on the phone and signed up or did something on your own and you're not sure what the answer to that question is, ooh, red flag. You need to go and dive in and check those details. If you have no idea, you've got me to do that. I read the fine print so that you do not have to. Number 3, will I be able to use my current doctors? A lot of people have specialists that they see. Some people do not give a flip on if you have coverage or certain doctors in the network or not. You're okay with just changing plan, finding one that's in that as long as you like the policy. So whatever your situation, asking if you'd be able to keep your current doctors or what that will look like is a huge component to health insurance. Number 4, what benefits will be covered? Now, this is very dependent upon the policy that you are on. So that is a very, again, crucial question, which is why we're going through 10 of these, and we'll dive in specifically in video series to follow of why we need to know what our coverage includes. If you don't know the benefits, if you don't know the cost of what it would be for you to go see your doctor, that's a problem, and you need to follow up and figure that out. Number 5, are routine exams covered? Now, if you found yourself on a federal marketplace, our regular yearly wellness exams should be included. That's a part of the Affordable Care Act that was put into the federal marketplace, and a huge aspect of why it even exists today. So all those preventatives and wellness should be included with those. Now, if we find ourselves on a different policy, or if we see ourselves with copays, or we have a massive deductible you have to meet before your plan helps, those are things you need to know. All right, moving on to number 6. Will you have to call your doctor before going to the emergency room? So again, this shouldn't be the case across the board, but there are some plans hidden in there that you have to call your doctor before an urgent care or emergency can accept you. Emergency room in the hospitals and whatnot. If they see that you have no coverage, they may be finicky with you, and they may make you wait and wait and wait, because their priority is to get people with insurance, as bad as this is, in the door, because those are the people who they know they're going to get payment from the insurance companies from, and it's not subject to that person. So that's why, if you've seen yourself being just put off and hadn't had coverage, chances are it's because of that reason. Number 7. What are the limitations and restrictions regarding pre-existing conditions on your policy? Now, this is a scary one, guys. If you have something very minor going on, maybe you have type 2 diabetes, for example, and you're healthy, but that's the only thing you've got going on. Well, if you're on a sector of a policy where there are limitations, if you had a flare-up, knock on wood, but if you had some kind of situation that was in direct response to your diabetes within first 12 months or whatever your policy says, you could be subject to paying out completely on your own and it not covering it. So that is another huge thing to keep in mind and to know about your policy. If whoever helped you, or if you sign yourself up again, that's something you need to know, is the limitations, if there are any. and if you have a major medical, what that looks like, if you have a max number for your year, if you got diagnosed with cancer, do you know what your number will be that you're paying out of pocket? So number 8, moving on, what happens if you're away from home? There are a couple categories. Again, very dependent on that number one question, what plan do you have? So when it comes to being away from home, the private sector, those PPOs, those nationwide coverages, those again, on and off the job, crossing state lines will have you covered nationwide. The marketplace, those have more restrictions. Those are state-based. Granted, if something major did happen, the majority of them do have coverage when it comes to emergency room care. But everything else, you would be out of luck with those HMOs. So again, something else really, really crucial to know about your current policy. Number 9, is this insurer stable, consistent, reliable? All right, if you didn't ask this question or do research on the company that you are with, do that, because you might be shocked to see what you find. Granted, there are some plans, the Christian Healthshare Ministries, for example, that one is a little sneaky. It has limitations, and they used to have it, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of their website, they have now moved it to where it is 6 tab clicks into the website details. It took me a while to find it. I found them. The limitations are there. There are maximums. It's not guaranteed at all, and it says that very plainly. So that's how they keep themselves out of lawsuits and out of trouble, is because they say, hey, right here, it says we don't have to do anything. So if you get a claim covered, it's like a 50-50 coin toss. They do really well on pregnancy and children, but if you are on those plans, please talk with me and let's get you in a different situation. That golden rule, those are all short-term limited benefit nonsense, okay? So reviews, compliance, being sure that you look, because a lot of those plans are being kicked out of states too. So don't get hooked on the line by somebody sweet talking you over the phone. Those people are not licensed insurance professionals, okay? They can say whatever they want to you over the phone. Number 10. Let's see. So how does your insurance company handle claims? Not everybody would be able to tell you this unless you're with somebody who has been across state lines, seen what's going on in different areas, done the research, done the tests, done the licensing, been through the claims yourself. So I have been there, done that, seen a lot over the years in this business. So when it comes to claims, the biggest part is to ask who you're dealing with specifically. And if they can't even tell you, that's a problem. They should know what they're helping you sign up for. So when it comes to handling claims and disputes, you want it clear cut. And if they can't help you or say, sorry, I'm just here to sign you up and then hands off, see you later, that's not how they should be doing the business. They're just looking to sell you something. It doesn't matter to them what it is. So those are the top 10 things that we are going to dive into in a part 1, part 2, diving in specifically to some of these topics. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and we will talk soon.